Hello everyone. So in this video we've got, oh god, why am I even doing this? Oh yeah, we've got one of these. Okay, let's try and be at least a little bit positive with what we've got here. May I introduce you to the 1975 Goblin Model 105C. Goblin's attempt at making a Hoover Jr. Oh, God, didn't they do well? No, they didn't. Yeah, this is, it's quite an interesting machine in many ways. Similarly, it is also a dreadful machine in many ways. During the 1970s, Goblin needed a budget upright vacuum cleaner, and their idea to fill that void was the Model 105. It was probably not the most popular cleaner ever created. I have seen very few of them over my lifetime, and I have ended up with one thanks to the wonderful, gorgeous and superb Mr. Sam Watson of Becco1987 channel, which I shall link to below. I went to see Sam recently and he said to me, "Do you want this?" I was like, oh God, do I? No, not really. But I'm just a girl who can't say no. And it came home with me. I think I might try and restore this cleaner, you know. I don't know if I've got some kind of death wish, but I think I might try. Oh God. So I remember probably about 30 years ago, I was given one of these. It was from Jeff, who you've seen on the channel. Back when he had a shop. It must have been about 92 or so. And there was one of these in the shop, and it was there for so long. And I think the customer had actually forgotten about it. So me being me said, "Jeff, can I have that old Goblin, please?" And he went, "Oh, yeah, all right, just go away." Yes, no, he didn't say that at all. Bless his heart. He said, "Yeah, of course you can." And I remember on that one, the brush roll was missing on it. And we did a fantastic bodge. Well, I say we. He did a fantastic bodge where he took the brush roll from a Hoover Junior 1036, changed the end caps, and managed to make it fit into the Goblin. Because the Goblin, just like the 1036 version of the Hoover Junior, uses a flat belt. So the flat belt brush roll worked fine. Just had to change the the end caps of the brush roll, and it actually fit in the Goblin. I don't think that one had a base plate, and in a massive dollop of irony, this one seems to be wearing the wrong base plate. I have no idea what this base plate is from, and in fact it doesn't even want to come off. So yeah, that's not ideal. And you can see it there, it's like, I don't know what that's from actually. It's definitely not the original Goblin base plate because it's far too short. It ends there and there, whereas it should go out to the edge. So I don't quite know what's going on with that. It does have its original brush roll, so that's good. That's good news. But this is going to have to come off, and I don't quite know how I'm going to take that off, but I will sort that out at a later date. Now you may have noticed here that you can see some white. If I take the front cover off, yeah, that has faded dreadfully. This plastic should be white, or a kind of off-white colour. But yeah, over time it has gone off really badly. Now Sam did say to me that he managed to find this front plate on eBay. And if I hold it up to you, you'll see that it says Swepline on it. Now what Swepline is, for those who don't know about our electricity boards in the UK, over the country, there are all like different electricity boards. So I can think of Norweb, Manweb, Sweb. There's the only three I can think of. If you could think of more, please comment your comment in the comments. So Norweb would have been Northwestern Electricity Board. Manweb, I think, was Manchester Electricity Board, I think, possibly. But amazingly, where I grew up in Cornwall, our electricity board was SWEB, the Southwestern Electricity Board. So this front cover is actually from a machine that would have been purchased in the southwest. Goblin would have contracted with the electricity boards to make machines under that electricity board's label. So there would have been a certain number of Norweb machines, a certain number of Manweb machines, and a certain number of Swepline machines. So this really brings back memories. Swepline is like, oh God. I can remember when my parents bought their house in Penzance in 1986, the sellers actually left me a Goblin cylinder in the basement because, me being me, I was like, oh, can I see your Hoover, please, when we went to view the house. And I remember it. It was a Goblin. Oh, what model? 555, possibly, something like that. But under the Swepline label, I distinctly remember on the side it said Swepline, and they actually left that for me, which was really kind of them. Now, a memory I have of the 105 upright, my Auntie May, my great Auntie May, had the actual Swepline version of this cleaner. So with this front plate, and it would have been, the bag would have been like this greeny bluey colour. I remember it distinctly. It said, I'm sure it said Swepline on the bag on the side here. And when I was probably about 10 or so, I remember going to Auntie May and Uncle Matthew's house. And of course, me being me, I had to go off and find the vacuum cleaner. And I found it. I found it in their sort of front bedroom. And I walked in the door, and there was this 105 sat there. And she had it in tools mode, right? So she had the tools with it, and it looked pristine. It really did look absolutely pristine. She had the hose in the front with the adapter on it, and the very thin Goblin hose with the very thin rods, and a little metal or triangular all-purpose tool with it. Again, I think that was metal. Was it metal? I don't know. It was a long time ago. So I obviously went down and said, Auntie May, I found your vacuum cleaner. I found your... What are you looking at my vacuum cleaner for? Why are you looking at that? I'm sorry, I just wanted to see your vacuum. All right, calm down, Jesus. And I asked her, why have you got it in tools mode? I probably didn't say tools mode. I said, why have you got the tools on it, Auntie May? And she said, I do all my vacuuming with the tools. What? You do all your vacuuming with the tools. So bearing in mind, it was a really short hose, just one rod, like a really thin Goblin rod, and a tiny AP tool. And she vacuumed her entire house like that. And I said, why? Why, Auntie May? Why do you use it like that? And she said, well, I don't like those brushes on my lovely carpet. Oh no, those brushes will ruin that. They'll ruin that. Do you know how much that carpet cost in 1965? What? That's mental. She cleaned her entire house with that machine, with the tools. And bearing in mind, this cleaner, when it's on, the suction is like this. Can you imagine how much dirt was in those carpets? For all those years, going over it with a 105 with the tools on it. That's just bonkers. I would have loved to have actually vacuumed that carpet with a decent machine. Imagine using a Hoover Senior on that. God, you'd have filled the bag up like that. It would, poof, just dirt everywhere. But yeah, no, she was adamant. She was absolutely adamant she would not have those brushes on her carpet. Kind of makes you ask the question, why didn't you buy a cylinder cleaner, Auntie May? Why did you buy an upright if you're not going to use it on it? Anyway, bonkers. So this particular cleaner, it needs quite a lot of work. There's no flex on it at the moment. As you can see the flex entry, and for some strange reason, it's got a 3-core flex. Now this is, I'm sure, double insulated. Yes, it is, because there's the double insulated symbol on the ratings plate. What is it? 300 watts. Oh, it's 300 watts. So it's actually more powerful than a Hoover Junior was. So slightly bigger motor. It's all there. The bag is not in the best condition. I think bleach has got onto it. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but like here, It looks like a bleach mark that happened a long time ago. The zip doesn't work, so we're going to have to get into that. And yeah, it's such a strange cleaner, because it is essentially a Hoover Junior just done really badly. It doesn't really have any redeeming features to it, if I'm totally honest. It's yeah. If you couldn't afford a Hoover Junior, this is kind of what you bought, so you have my sympathy. That's massively. You think the choice in 75 was Hoover Junior 1012, or this. I mean, the Junior just blows this out of the water in every conceivable way. You can't even wheel this actually on its back wheels. You can get to that angle and then it stops. You can't even wheel it. You've got to carry it everywhere. It's very strange, but it is so Goblin. It's just so Goblin. The cheapest possible way to do it. But then with like these really funny things like this handle bail here, that's really solid metal there. And you kind of think to yourself, why did they do that? They kind of cheaped out on virtually everything, but then they put this massive lump of metal with a really stiff mechanism there to do the handle. It's very odd, but very Goblin, very Goblin. Unfortunately, it hasn't got the lettering on the bag. There's no Goblin sign or symbol. I can't remember if they did have that or not, or if it's come off over time. And just look at the size of the top of the bag here. It's massive. It's like a foot long. Why is that so big? I mean, it could have just ended there, and you could have had a nice slim bag, which would have looked much more modern, much more in keeping with the Hoover Junior. But no, it was Goblin, and they said, no, we're going to have a massive top of the bag. That's that. No discussion. That's what we're doing. It's Goblin. They were crazy. It has this height control system on the back. I've never really worked out what it does. It's like a lever here. I think oh, there we go. It very slightly raises and lowers the wheels at the back. So you've got high and low carpet, but I don't think it's very effective, to be quite honest with you. I don't think it really matters what you leave it in. I mean, look at that. Look at that lever there. It's just so... It's like an afterthought, isn't it? Everything is like an afterthought. Where can we put the height control mechanism? Oh, just stick it there. Just stick it there. But it doesn't look very nice. Oh, it doesn't matter. Just put it there. It's fine. For God's sake. If anybody happens to have the correct front plate for this machine, I'd be very interested in buying it off you. Whilst it's very nice to have this Swepline plate, it's not the right one for this cleaner. You can see the little bits of white sticking out on either side here, where the original would have covered the majority of the front. This is like a restyled version of the front plate, so it's not right for this cleaner. It would have been sort of like, it would have stuck forward a lot more. It looks like it was meant to be a dirt finder light, kind of like in keeping with the Junior 1354A of the time, but it wasn't. It was just a front plate. It wasn't powered. There were no connections on it. This machine never had a dirt finder lamp. It was just basically a stylized version of it. So if anybody happens to have one of those, I really would like to buy that off you, because it would be nice for this machine to have its original front plate, the correct front plate for it, and then I'll keep this one in the slim chance that a Swepline version ever turns up and needs a front plate. I don't think it will. I think this is the third 105 I've seen in my entire life. So yeah, the chances of a Swepline machine turning up are very slim. I was going to try and retrobrite this, but the seasons have moved on now. It's utterly pointless. And this is so badly faded that I don't think it will ever come back to any kind of reasonable tone, if you like. So my plan is to spray it. I'm going to treat the plastic. I'm going to rub it down. I'm going to clean it really thoroughly. Try and get rid of some of these scratch marks. and then we'll spray it in Appliance White. Now, whether or not that's going to look decent, I don't really know. I'm going to have to do the front plate as well, but I kind of don't want to do the front plate, if you know what I mean. I just want to keep this as it is, because there's a risk if I try and take this sticker off, the sticker will tear. I don't really want to ruin that. But I think because the machine has no real value, it's kind of worth it. It's worthwhile just trying to do that to it. But that's the long-term plan for this machine. I'm going to try and restore it. I don't even know if it works. Kind of need to get a flex on it first, see what happens, and try and sort out that base plate. Now, the machine will work without the base plate on because the belt will hold the brush roll in place. I don't think it'll be particularly effective without it, but I haven't really got much choice. So unless anybody has a machine that they would like to sell to me for spares, that would be awesome. But I don't know, probably not. Oh God, I'm just looking at the bag and some of the teeth are missing from the zip. Oh, quite a lot of teeth are missing from the zip. Do you know what? I think it would probably be wise to not try and undo that zip. I suppose I could get a new zip fitted. There is a place in town that will do that. Yeah, that might be worth a try. We'll see. I'm not sure how far I'm going to go with it, but I would like to try and save it and just try and, yeah, get it back to some kind of semblance of a working machine. But yeah, there we go. So that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments what you think. What do you think of the machine? What do you think of my plans to sort of try and restore it? And we'll see it again in a few videos time, see if we can get it working, get it running. Yeah, and wish me luck with this one. Jesus, I'm gonna need it. But anyway, until next time, you guys take care and I'll see you soon. Bye.